God damn it, I forgot to hit the go live button again. I always forget to hit the go live button. Oh, shame on me. I should hide. I should hide away in shame. Gosh dang it. How do I manage to do this? Okay. I'm gonna pop out chat. Pop out chat. So I can see you guys a bit better. If anybody ends up showing up. My goodness. Error occurred. Connect streaming software. Okay, no error. Just no one's here. Okay, cool. We're cool. We're cool. Super secret. Double secret. Yes. The secret levels of this stream are beyond comprehension. I've been working on a secret project all day, and yeah. Are you excited? No, this is just the first part of my secret project. So I put out a video. How about I show you? Okay, I'm gonna reveal the secret project. I have a PowerPoint for you guys. That's the secret. Here, I don't think it's centered. Here, let's see. Is that centered? Yeah, it's centered. Okay. Stop. Stop sharing the secret. Slides. We got a slideshow. Okay. I've been working on this all day. Okay, so I got lime. I got lime drink. I'm so ready for this. I'm gonna end up creaking the chair a bunch in this. Cause I did I did a video. I released okay. So I released a video the other day. No, that dates this. That dates this too much. We need because my goal, for the stream's sake, my goal is to slice all of these together to make one giant video that includes every single one of my OCs explained. And I think it would be a phenomenal video. They said, make the video you want to see. You know, YouTube told me, they said, make videos you want to see in the world. And I said, I want to see a video of all my OCs. And I want it to be like 10 hours long. Because it's probably going to end up being like 10 hours long. I'm not going to do it all at once. Like a series or just one long video. I'm going to make one long video. I'm going to stitch it all together. So today I just have Avo. I don't know how much I'll get through of it. But I wrote down all of my projects and all of my RPs. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Oh, studio mode. That's the button. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, okay. I'm going to make a one long video. And I'm just going to use the stream. I'm going to download the stream VODs. And I'm just going to like splice them. And remove all the ums and ahs. Because I thought that would be fun. And I can remove all of like the chatting to y'all. So today I'm just going to try and get through as much as I can of Avo. Actually, I can't. I need a sheet of paper. Wait, no, I need a computer. One sec. I need to grab a computer. I didn't put all of my my notes onto the slides directly because I learned that in high school. But I have a bunch of notes. Is that... Oh god, what keyboard format is this? Okay. Cool. I just gotta grab my Avo notes so that I can get into everything properly. So yeah, I'm gonna do Avo tonight. The next one I have is Sovereign. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get through all of these. I hope it's a really long time. I just want this to be a very long video because I'm having fun with the long video thing. I'm with everyone who got on this train that's like, let's make a super long PowerPoint. We're gonna die of old age. Scrivener, recent projects, the books of Avo. Well, I'm immortal, so I don't care. Okay, I got the Avo Pantheon open for when I need it. All right, guys. Should I do my... I think I'll make an opening for this later. Should I start with an opening, like a preamble for everything, or should I like... I hate doing preambles. I'm gonna do the preamble in Audacity. We're just gonna start. Okay, class? I think we should just start. I need to get into the habit of not squeaking my chair so much because it's very annoying. I need to get a chair that doesn't squeak. All right, guys. Should I do a what do you think? I guess I could try one, and if I don't like it, I can just put a new one in. That would make a lot of sense, actually. I just don't know what I would say. I guess I should hunker down and do something. Well, actually, today has at least 70 characters, so... Okay, make sure my little cursor isn't in the way. Yeah, I'll come up with an opening later. Let's just... Hey, what's up, guy? It's your boy, here with another epic video. Okay, wait, you click down here, right? So let us get started with the books of Avo, my very first babies. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Use that as the intro. Okay. Hi, ours. So, what is the books of Avo? For one, it's a novel, but what else is it? I forget. Let's go. It's my first novel. Not the first I published, but the first one I ever wrote. I started writing it when I was 12 years old. All of the characters in it are either very recent or very ancient. Some of them have been around with me forever. So that's why I thought it was a good place to start. We're getting my OG OCs. It's I have pretty low battery. So let's let this run in the background. Thank you. Appreciate. So it is a story that is a fantasy story about dragons and stuff set in a 1920s inspired setting. Wasn't always in the 1920s setting. Used to be a more generic fantasy thing. It was like a Zelda ripoff, basically. But it has changed, and to move away from the Zelda ripoff stuff, I decided to make it into a 1920s thing. I think I did that when I was a teenager. I think it's been in the 20s for a while. There is tons of lore and tons of characters, so let's just get into it. Okay, so we're starting with the Pantheon. There is a big Pantheon. There are. Well, let's see if I mentioned it. Okay, so the first in the Pantheon is the great goddess Avo. I'm using not royalty free. What is it? Public domain photos that I found on Wikicommons. So that's my source. My sources. I didn't want to figure out how to credit things properly. This is very official. Wait, I crinkled through this whole thing. Both of the cats are watching. They support you. Thank you. Oh my god, I hate this chair. Why does it do this? So much of editing for me is always just like fixing my chair. I don't know if my ear's doing the whoosh whoosh thing or if that's like. Huh. All right, so let's start with the. Okay, so the Pantheon is huge, so we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to start with the great goddess Avo, okay? So, great goddess Avo created the world because they're a great goddess. That's what they did. They split into 7 gods after that. Uh, one of those kind of dealios. They exist in everything. So all my characters in Avo, you could say, are just the great goddess Avo. So in a way, it's only one character. Maybe it's only one character, or maybe the great goddess Avo doesn't even count as a character. I like to think that God is a character. It's also just a good place to start. So she split into the 7 gods that we will be getting into, and the 7 gods further divided into 10 spirits each, and that will be our Pantheon. So we have a lot to get through. So the first god created, Viren, god of time. Okay? He decided that he was going to write all of the laws of the universe into like physical books. So this kind of happened after a bunch of the gods had already been created. They all like messed about. They were causing wars between each other. They were breaking each other's mountains, being a bunch of toddlers. And Viren says, hey, we're going to write down some rules that we are going to follow. So that's his thing. Very boring. Old man. How dare he? So yeah, very organized. He's a nice man. I bet I wrote he likes to knit. Yes, he likes to knit. I think that's the most important thing we need to know about Viren is that he is a nice old man. He likes to knit. He had to lay down the law, but he's not like a strict dad. He's a sweet grandpa. So that's Viren, god of time. Next we got Atalo, god of shadow. As you can tell from his picture here, probably a great guy. He didn't like writing books. He thought they were boring and stupid. And he didn't want to be told what to do because gods are toddler babies. And so he didn't want to give up his power. Wait, I blew out the microphone. We have to be good about that. So part of the deal with the books of Avo and creating them was that the gods were going to write down all the rules and then they were going to give up their powers so that no one would mess with the world anymore. Like they would build the Lego set and be done. And Italo thought that was terrible because he liked being an all powerful god. And what did he do about that? He made the Mirren. Um, what are the Mirren? The Mirren are a bunch of people made out of sand. So he made a secret world for himself that he had ultimate power over. And he did this in secret. Like 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 how I do secret live streams. And you could and so he made his little secret world. He made the Mirren. There are a bunch of people that are like in their hearts and souls they must follow him and do as he pleases or whatever. And yeah, he made a bunch of other creatures. Like there are some like there aren't cows in Avo, but there are sand cows that live in the Mirage, which is the land that Atala created. I don't know why I wrote down the mirror in there instead of the Mirage, but you know. Anyways, so what happens? He gets sealed away. Okay, you can't do that. You can't make a world where you are king and rule over everything and refuse to give up your powers. So all the other gods, they go like, "Hey, you're a bad boy." They spray him with water and they seal him away. And everything goes great from there. No, it doesn't. He breaks free. He he so he basically he didn't really get like an entire life sentence. He got put in gay baby jail for a while, but he was supposed to come out at some point. But as things progressed, um, such a problem child for real, he is. So so I don't think his I don't I don't know why I'm not recalling this perfectly right now, but he I don't think he got sealed away forever. I think either they messed up or there was a planned release date and everyone was then like, I don't really think he should be released. I don't think he's learned his lesson. So he is set to break free at some point and they try to stop him, I think. Yeah, they try to, but they try to, but they fail, and he kills all the elves. Um, so they were probably right in thinking he shouldn't be locked away. Ah, crap, we forgot we left him in timeout. He's been sitting in the corner for centuries. No, millennia. I think it's millennia, probably, not centuries. Alexa, shut up. This isn't about you. Okay, sorry. But yeah, he breaks free, kills all the elves, whoopsie doopsie, and then he's sealed away again. Um, Lessons learned. He's a huge jerk. The side note, if the whole plot of the book, the first book at least, revolves around the fact that he is trying to break free again. We'll probably get into some of that. I don't want to spoil everything, but that's the basics of Italo. All right, Kamiri, goddess of fire. So she is the third god to come into existence. She never liked Italo, thinks he's stinky. She lives in the mountain with the dragons, where she is a huge jerk. I don't know if it mentions it. It doesn't mention it. Let's go back. So she lives in the mountains, and they, let's just say they're really awful to the humans that live below them. Okay, the dragons are huge. The side note, Kamiri is ginormous. Like her eye, like, do you know what an eye is? An eye is this thing right here. My cursor right now is bigger than a human would be compared to her eye. She big lady. Okay, so she lives with her dragon gal pals in the mountains. Um, in Avo, all dragons are female. Um, yeah, all dragons are female. They have like one egg that they can lay, so their family trees are like incredibly linear. They just go forward, pushu. Okay, so that's a bit about dragons. I don't know why I'm going off about dragons. The point is that she lives in the mountains with the dragons. She kind of created them, and she's really sad. Uh, she's sad because Italo killed all the elves. And you know what? I did mention how like the dragon lineage is very linear. Well, they still need a male, because all dragons can turn into like a humanoid form, um, where they can do the do. And the dragons are all really sad because Italo killed all the elves, and the elves are very important in creating more dragons. Because there's other races, there's angels, which dragons don't really like, and there's humans who die. And yeah, so Kamiri is super depressed. She's like an angry depressed. She's like an angry depressed. I don't know how to explain it further. She doesn't care about anything anymore. She just wants the world to end. She's like, heck it, I'm done. Let it burn. Huge jerk. Speaking of huge jerks, we got Shivera, goddess of earth. Another depressed god. Super depressed. She lives in the forest with all of her spirits, and she used to live there with the elves until a Talo burned it all down and killed a whole bunch of them. All of the elves are dead. Many of her spirits were killed. I'm sure we'll get into some of them. And yeah, she's just a grumpy goddess, hiding in the woods, and she's a unicorn dog. Ursula wants her to be way more giant than she is. She is not a giant Princess Mononoke wolf. I am sorry. I failed you, my wife. Ash- All right. Ashar, god of wind. I don't know what this picture is. It was just another like public domain image of a bird, and I thought it looked cool. So there you go. He's not actually a bird. He's a little bit more of a be not afraid kind of creature. He's a mysterious windy guy. Not much is mentioned about him in the first book. He's very much a second book kind of character. He lives at the center of the star. We don't really go to the star. The star is a giant floating rock where all of the angels live. It's shiny. Um, it's cool. It's kind of not cool. It's incredibly fascist up there. Moving on. He's not been seen in a while, so let's go. Another great. I love this image. I don't know what it is. But Marcel, the god of water, is a big snake in the ocean, and I found a snake that's really cool looking in like a fun way. It's like a weasel with a crown. I don't know what this is. So he fell asleep. He created the world and then immediately fell asleep. Like same, bro. Okay, but he sleeps in the ocean trench. It's the ocean trench is more so like molded around him over time because he's just been sleeping there at the bottom of the ocean. Snake rat. Yeah, snake rat. He hasn't woken up since finishing his books. He just goes zzz, 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 zzz. He does, however, exist within his own dream realm. The books of Avo, there's like a dream realm that exists, and there is a secondary dream realm called the Water God's Dream where he can exist and he communicates with people still. But in the reality, the real world, um, you can't really talk to him. And like you can technically swim into his dream, like it's a physical space, but also not a physical space. It's very confusing. Um, but you also wouldn't be able to. You remember that submarine that exploded, like that submergible? Like that's what would happen to you if you tried to reach it. You would die. Zzz, but not that's him sleeping. You'd be dead. So we can't reach the water god and we don't know much about him. All right, we got Maria, goddess of light. She's not a goose. Um but she is a fluffy dragon girl, and I couldn't really find that on Wikipedia. So this is what we have. So Maria is the youngest goddess. Yep, youngest gods, youngest of the gods. Yeah. Um, she really wanted to be Atalo's friend. She calls him her big brother, and followed him around and annoyed him. So in response, he dragged her into his prison when he was imprisoned. They both got put in gay baby jail together. She is Kamiri's favorite goddess. Kamiri babied her because she was a little baby dragon, and Kamiri is a big dragon. So Kamiri took good care of Maria until Atalo dragged her to prison, and then Kamiri failed as a mother. Won't be the first time that she does that either. Certainly not the last. Um, so yeah, let's move on to the councils. So there are a few spirits that are like standout spirits. We're gonna okay, let's just immediately get to him. I've written slides for each of them that are standout, or at least I think what I did is if I had pictures of them, I made my own panel page for them. So we'll get back to them later. So we will get back to Lul. You better believe we will get back to Lul, my spirit of sin, my sweet baby girl. I'm gonna have a drink of water. I need it. One sec. Okay. We're also gonna get back to Lenora, spirit of death. I think we're gonna get back to Carvel, spirit of mind. Okay, Shadow Council is my favorite council. Okay. So we're gonna get back to most of them. Serena, Spirit of the Moon. I don't think we're getting back to her. She is the grandmother of Tria, and she is the mother of Deadwood, Luna Deadwood, which we will get back to. She is an 8-armed lady. Is she 8-armed lady? No, she has 4 arms and 4 sets of wings. She's a blue lady. She's entirely blue because she's sad, but also because she's just like blue. Like that's just what she looks like. And she's got golden blood and golden hair, and her eyes are completely gold and shiny, like moons. She's very cool. One day we'll get to see her. But for now, she just exists on this sheet. We got Odar, Spirit of Decay. I love him. I hate him. I hate that I love him. He's the silver-winged angel of the star. He's a stinky boy. Half his face is rotting off. And he belongs up with the angels, I think. You know? He just fits in with them. Next, we have Vasette, Spirit of Dreams. We will get back to Vasette. Aurora, Spirit of Lust. We'll get back to her as well. Nikki, Confusion, Spirit. We will get back to her. Grim, we will not get back to. Grim was one of the last spirits that Atalo created. He is the spirit of despair, and he embodies it entirely, so much so that he couldn't get any writing done. He just sat in a corner and has just rocked back and forth so much that he wore an indent in the floor where he'd do that. He's just like me for real, for real. The only time he moved was when Atalo punished them all, and also, or was it? I think it was. Yeah, I think it's when Atalo came and killed everyone. He clawed Grim's face open, and Grim went to the Spire of Mira Atala, which is a place within the Mirage where a few of the spirits hang out. and he has subsequently worn a hole into the floor of Mira Itala. So that's what Grimm's up to. Lavelle, Spirit of the Night. Huge spoilers if I talk anything about Lavelle. Lavelle is my baby, though, and I want to feed him a whole turkey. Moving on, the Light Council. We're going to end up with another bunch of characters that I probably can't talk about. The basics around the Light Council was that Lul tricked all of them. I forget when this happened, but he tricked them all and they became trapped within a prison that no one knows where it is, and they just haven't been able to get out. Everyone's forgotten their names, but we get to know them, even though within the story, no one knows anyone of these guys' names is. So we got Allura, Spirit of Virtue. I think I'm going to talk about Allura a little bit at the end because I kind of love her. We got Leah, Spirit of Life. She is the one light spirit who didn't get captured. We will talk about her. We got Ballad, Spirit of Soul. Can I say anything about Ballad? Just use your brain, Bones. You know this one. Okay, so what's Ballad's deal? Ballad is a heron snake. She's like the head of a heron, I think, but like just a huge snake. And she lives in the River of Souls, or he does. I don't know what gender Ballad is right now. It's not coming to me. But yeah, big bird. Doesn't do a lot of talking. Arya, Spirit of the Sun. I believe that they are a hippogriff, like a phoenix hippogriff. I was gonna film, but Busa plonked down on my lap. So, oh no. What were you going to film? Yeah, so they're like a phoenix hippogriff mix thing. Very cool, very brightly colored. Yeah, not much to say about them without spoilers. We got O'Toole. She is well, the thing about the Light Council is each one is opposite to one of the Shadow Council. So she's the opposite of Odar, and she is like an angel as well, but she's got kind of like brown tan gold wings. He doesn't like her. Other than that, I probably shouldn't get into it too much. Velsair, Spirit of Reality. Vaset's opposite. He is a little rabbit. He also has like an elven form he goes between, but yeah, he's a rabbit. Vaset confuses him deeply. Serval, Spirit of Purity, is a beautiful angel man. He's mentioned a bit throughout the book, but just because there's lots of architecture named after him, I don't necessarily know if people have put two and two together on that. He's the opposite of Aurora. We've got Crow, Spirit of Clarity, the crystal dragon, very shiny. Actually, one of the few male dragons that exist. Yeah. I don't think he even has like an elven form, or does he? He probably does. The thing about spirits is, okay, you know what? The thing about the light spirits is that because they got sealed away before the end of the books of Avo were created, they never truly settled on final forms, most of them. So it doesn't really matter. I wish I was the Spirit of Clarity. I wish, for real. But yeah, he's like a crystal dragon, usually. We've got Dove, Spirit of Hope, Dovey, as I like to call them. Dovey is a fox snake, a giant serpent. There's lots of giant serpents. I like a snake, guys. You'll see that drinking game where you get drunk on snake mentions. Yeah, so they have like little like I think they're white, but then they have like gray stains under their eyes because they're constantly crying since the creation of their opposite. Because the light spirits were created first, and then their opposites were made. So when Grimm was made, Dovey started crying and hasn't stopped crying because it makes Dovey so sad. Because Dovey is an empath. Then we got Elaviv, who is an elf, and we don't talk about Elaviv, okay? Onward. I'm sitting here not knowing anything about anything. Oh, mood. Okay. Time Council. Sorry, tinnitus is driving me crazy. All right. So who's on the Time Council? Orinar, Spirit of Fate. Okay, so Orinar is one of the oldest spirits in existence. I think he is. I think there's one more that is older than him, but he knows everything that is going to happen. He knew. He's not aware of what came before him, I don't think. He knows everything contained within the books of Avo and everything that will like happen after they're written, because there's actually no free will in Avo. He knew it all, and he was kind of really boring to be around, and a huge pessimist. Wonder why? He was eventually killed. Yeah, he was eventually killed during the Elven genocide. Yeah, his fate ended with the elves, and as that approached, he got kind of dreary about it and kept talking about his untimely end. But this was like for thousands of years, because he's like a couple eons old. He's like older than a few of the gods as well. He's just always been like Viren's guy, and so he would be like, oh man, like 4,000 years and I'm dead. That's imminent, you know. Not fun at parties. Let's just say that. Okay. Fun at parties is Vankilla. She is the oldest spirit in existence. um she is the spirit of ages, and she is the grandmother of Leo, Morel, and Miethriel. Doesn't mean anything yet to some people, but yeah, she is Aaron's great grandmother, and she was the studious right hand to Viren. Uh, she was very sweet, liked to drink tea, uh, loved writing her books, and wrote extensive notes about all the things. So that's Vankilla. Um, she also died in the Elven genocide because she took the form of an elf. A lot of the Time Council did. I think most of them did. Next one is Vestrin, Spirit of Memories. Related to another character, this is Luna's father and Tria's grandfather. So he died. That's all I have written about him. Okay, he was a grandfather and he died. That's his story. We got Lyra, Spirit of Mortality. She took the form of a mortal and she slowly grew up. So she was a baby. Most of the spirits were just kind of created into existence as they were. They changed forms throughout, but she stuck it out. She started as a baby and she grew up very slow compared to a mortal, and she is now an old woman. She is she was a mother. She was a mother to an elf, but You know what happened to the elves, so she is not a mother anymore, but she is still alive, unlike most of her kin. Isha, spirit of the present. Um, I don't know if I should be getting into like what each of their like little aspects mean. Um, it seemed it's too late now, I guess. So Aisha lives as a nondescript mortal woman. Yeah, so Aisha lives as a nondescript mortal woman. So she keeps living different lives. Like she starts at the beginning, gets the end, and then restarts as different nondescript mortals. So she's just living life after life after life. She's still alive, still kicking, and she just keeps living new lives. That mortality grind with Lyra. Uh, is it going to be Elisar? Yes, it's going to be Elisar, Spirit of Constance. Dead. He was an elf. He settled down in the forest with his family, and then it got burned down. Poor Elisar. Shion, Spirit of Cycles. Shion is one of the only time spirits to not have decided upon a mortal or elven form. She became a fox with telekinesis. She thought that would be cool. So she was like, I don't know if I want to live my life in mortal form. I'm going to be a telekinetic fox. And then a couple of years passed and she was like, you know what? I made a horrible decision, but she's stuck as a telekinetic fox. Fun fact, the Shion fox breed exists, and it's like a little curly-furred fox, and it's named after her. She also is a business mogul. She's moved on with her life. She's not the only spirit with four legs and paws to become a creature of business, but she owns she owns a bunch of hotels. That's pretty cool. Eat the rich. Okay. Alwyn got turned into mist. He got exploded. He was best friends with Verinar. Um, do I have anything interesting to say about him? He collected a bunch of books. He made his own little library. Spirit of Constance. Wait, he's not Spirit of Constance. That's a mistake. He's Spirit of Chronology. He, yeah, he's Spirit of Chronology. I messed that up. But he's Spirit of Chronology, and he keeps a bunch of books. Lived in a little library with his gay best friend Verinar, who spent his time upstairs making paintings. And then Alwyn exploded and died. Glissa, Spirit of Scripture. We like to think of Glissa as the person at the office who, knows everybody's birthday and schedules like events and stuff. Like that's what she did. So Scripture is basically Scripture is books about how the books work. And she was kind of just like HR for everyone and works really hard to keep the teams together and making these books and scheduling little like exchanges and stuff. Afterwards, she went traveling around the world with her best friend, the Spirit of Journeys. Atalo hated her, despised her guts. As a book hater, she was such a book girl that he murdered her. And, goodbye, Glissa. We'll miss you. We'll miss you. Then we have Verinar. Mentioned before, he lived with Alwyn. He took a mortal form, and so he didn't get exploded. He's a little crazy. Right now, he is living in the Sunlit City, where he creates films. He is a surrealist filmmaker. And he just has a horrible time because he misses his friend Alwyn. That's the Time Council. Onward, the Fire Council, a bunch of losers. We don't like dragons, okay? Dragons are super cool, pretty ladies, but they're all terrible, and we will learn that. So let's start with Tia, Spirit of the Mountains. So Tia is one of the eldest spirits in existence. She was the right hand to the goddess Kamiri. Um, she protected her lands from Metallo. She was killed one day by humans because she's a jerk, and she probably deserved it, okay? They hunted her down and stopped her brutal control of the land. She has an ancestor named Beryl, and her ancestor Beryl is now being raised in the Goddesses Hall. Rest in piss, Tia. Okay. Nalu, Spirit of Stone. Another dragon killed during the hunt, along with the rest of her line. There are no gray dragons left. She probably sucked. We got Draselva, Spirit of Treasures. She is alive. She is a dragon that is gold like coins, and her eyes are like multicolored gemstones. She's very pretty, horrible person. She lives in the Goddesses Hall with the goddess still and has not had a single egg yet. And probably won't because the elves are all gone. Sucks to suck. Okay, Ulne, Spirit of Smoke, the charcoal dragon. She resides in the mountains. She was known for her flights, but has not been flying since all of the elves died. She just kind of sits in her hoard and, I don't know, listens to Evanescence probably. She's sometimes in the Goddesses Hall, but we haven't seen her around. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation on all of the characters in the books of Abo. Next, we have Viole. I should really learn to pronounce the names of my characters. So, Viole is the spirit of summer. She is a sunrise colored dragon with scales that are yellow or purple depending on like how the light hits them. She's very pretty, very pretty. She's a snoozy dragon most of the time, but is active during the summer. She usually hangs out in the Goddess's Hall when she's sleeping. A lot of the spirits hang out with the goddess, honestly. We got No, we don't have Keldras. We have Arva, Spirit of Flames. So Arva is a blue dragon with bright blue eyes. Wait, no, she's a bright blue dragon with indigo eyes. And all I have written is huge bitch died in the hunt. So there's that. We got Odess, Spirit of Ash. Odess was a green dragon, mossy colored, with eyes like honey. She was a dragon that was amicable with the Earth Council, but she broke up with her rider / immortal lover, and after. Wait, what? That sentence doesn't make sense. One sec. Oh, okay. I think she was dating one of the earth spirits, but after the elves were all killed and the forest was burned, she broke up with the spirit she was with because it was just a lot to handle. That's what it is. And I think ash specifically refers to soil compositions, and it is the overlap between like land and life, because a lot of like the dragon stuff isn't entirely just fire. It has a lot to do with like the land. Like treasure has more to do with like minerals and crystal and stuff, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, that's what happened to Odess. Fenkili, Spirit of Passion. She is a pink dragon. Cute. Another dragon killed for being awful. Uh, Her first rider was an angel, which is rare, and she has a daughter who is fluffy and pink, which is incredibly adorable. And I didn't know that. I forgot about that. I wish I was a fluffy pink dragon. That's so cool. She had a few riders since, uh, but she's very hard to get along with. Shocking. Um, then we got Ralme, Spirit of Sight. Ralme is a white dragon with teal eyes. So she's like an icy white kind of dragon. She enjoyed flying with the Spirit of Smoke, and she's been her in her horde. She's also having like a sad moment, being sad. So sorry, Ralme. And then we have Keldras, who I guess I wrote out of order. I guess I skipped over and then was like, what did I miss? Keldras is the Spirit of Heat. Um, and they're an orange dragon, and their spikes are like a dark red, and their eyes are yellow. She was a menace to humans. Her line ended, though, um, and some of her lineage still lives. So a line ends like whenever like either an egg is broken or the youngest dragon in a line dies without having an egg. So there's no more dragons descendant of from her, but some of them still live, right? She's very depressed and ends up in her horde a lot and is very sad because she lost her rider. Probably an elf, I'd assume. So that's all the dragons. Oh my god. What a sad bunch. Let's go to the Earth Council. I'm sure they're happy. They're not. Everyone's depressed. So relatable. Okay. We got Kara, Spirit of Civilization. So Kara is a bear. She is a burr that is the color of like space. She's like a space bear, and she can travel through space, and the sky. She's best friends with Leo. When she decided on her final form, she decided she didn't want to talk, so she's incapable of speech. Um, she's a pretty important character, but I don't have any pictures of her despite that. So this is our only chance to talk about her. Ekato, we are going to talk about Ekato. We're going to talk about Amelia too because I found a picture of her. Emery, I don't know. I don't think I made a card for Emery. So Emery is the right hand to the Earth Goddess. He is a tiger with petals dripping off of his fur. Very cool. I like him. He's kind of a huge jerk, though. Big grump. Um, he's often referred to as the right paw of Kamiri, and the left paw is Ekato. We got Elune, Spirit of Forests. So Elune decided to be a tree. So if we went back, which we're not going to, if we went back to Shavera's page, she's sitting on a tree. That is Elune. Elune decided to turn into a tree at the end. So I guess she kind of gave up her voice as well. But yeah, Elune is a tree. Oh, also interesting fact about Elune. Apparently, she did not burn during the Obviously, she didn't burn during the Elven genocide. So a lot of other spirits hid within her roots for safety. Okay, we got Nyla, Spirit of Connection. I believe Nyla did pass away. Um, Nyla is a whole flock of birds. She takes the shape of a flock of swift like birds, and yeah, they were killed by Nikki because Nikki's a huge jerk. Um, we got Melrin, Spirit of Growth. Melrin is a Gannett, mixed with a flying squirrel, and she's got many tails, and she's got like pink eyes. So if you don't know what a Gannett is, you're gonna have to look it up, because it's just a little guy. It's kind of like a civet looking thing. It's adorable. Try to imagine it. We're moving on. Okay, we got Atha, Spirit of Sustenance, and I am going to read out my note on what Atha looks like because it's pretty great. A bird with sharp teeth. Chomp chomp. Is that just a dinosaur? So true. Now I can't imagine Atha as anything but a dinosaur. So there we go. Nikki killed her. Onward. Rala, Spirit of Kin. Rala was a forest antelope. And she has like little deer fangs, because I love when deer have fangs. And she was killed by Luna. That's neat. That's different. When they were searching for the remaining elves, Rala was slain. And then we got Rena. Rena was a badger. Is a badger. Yes, Rena is a badger that is covered in mushrooms. Badger, 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 mushroom. Not intended. Yes, she was able to escape Nikki burning the forest because she dug really deep, as badgers do. Onward to the Water Council. We got Samina, Spirit of the Wellspring. We're not going to talk about Samina. We got Cerulia, Spirit of Metamorphosis. Okay, Cerulia. Okay, we can talk a little bit about Samina. My note on Samina is gay, 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 gay. Uh, Moving on. Back to Cerulia. Cerulia is one of few spirits that didn't have didn't have a set form that she created. So she is a shapeshifter, but she always shapeshifts into something very snake-like, and she has no control over her shapeshifting. So her shapeshifting, her body will naturally protect her and shapeshift into like the most optimum thing, but she has no control over it. Sometimes she's chit-chatting away, and then suddenly she's a snake that can't talk. That's just her life. We love Cerulia. Currently, she's on the star. And she's stuck there because she can't fly down. Like, in theory, I guess if she jumped, she'd probably grow wings, but, let's not test that. Then we got Viseldra, Spirit of Storms. So she is a purple dragon, and she's kind of like jellyfish themed. I love her. She speaks in like an old timey way, which makes no sense because I don't know why there'd be like an old timey language in Avo when I'm like writing scenes from the past and I don't talk in it. But verily, she does talketh that way, I guess. Ran out of steam there to do it. She is in love with the spirit of the sky, and they fly around together and are best friends and smooch. We got Lyric, Spirit of Rivers. He's a long ass otter. He snake like, some might say, and he's got like his little black beady eyes down all of his body. So like he takes up the entire river. It's kind of like it's a spirit. He can do what he wants. And he's got kind of like bluish tinged fur up top, and then his belly's more like the substrate color. He's very cool. And he was best friends with Ballad before she got captured. Hemlin, Spirit of Blood, is kind of like an axolotl dragon with like these red gills. Very cool. You can find her swimming through the ocean, just being herself. We got Ulra, Spirit of the Ocean. Ulra's a big whale. Just being a swimmy friend. Let's go. Ona, Spirit of the Depths. I don't really want to talk about Ona. Ona scares me. We got Question Mark, Spirit of Emotion. Now, you might think that this is like some sort of really important character that I'm hiding from you. It's not. If they're really important, I just... you wouldn't be able to tell. I just didn't come up with a name for this guy. all the only notes I have. Okay, so they're a glass sea dragon. So they're like an amphibious kind of dragon, like those glass frogs. And they're just swimming around. There's a lot of water council that are just kind of swimming around, and like I've not really figured out what I want to do with them. We got Kellyan, Spirit of Frost. I think Kellyan's a big ass turtle. Am I right? Am I right about this? Yes, he's an ice turtle, and he's just swimming around. He's big rock. He's like a glacier turtle. I think there's a Pokemon that looks like him. And then we got question mark Spirit of Winter, who is a fluffy seal amphitheater, amphitheater. You know, like a it's like a snake with wings, but a seal. So that's the Water Council. And now we got the Wind Council, which I think is even less fleshed out. So we got Lyn, Spirit of Sky, one of the few male dragons. I think there's like two. There's like two male dragons, and this is one of them. He's like a very long blue dragon, snake-like. Even he is best friends with Viseldra. He's one of the oldest spirits in existence. He was super lonely. They used to call the sky the lonely canvas until the storms came to be, and then he found the love of his life, and they're just so sweet together. I love Viseldra and Lind. And yes, he is the one with the floppy dong that Ursula is so excited to draw. Good job, Ursula. Thea, Spirit of Autumn. So Thea is... Snakes are the crabs of Avo. Thank you. Thea, Spirit of Autumn. So she is a barn owl creature. She's like a four-legged barn owl creature that speaks in third person and travels on a chilling wind of death that kills crops. She's very cool. I like her. She screams while she talks. Like she simultaneously screams and talks. And we love her. She's like a horror nightmare creature. Idra, Spirit of Breath. What is Idra's deal? Nothing. I have nothing written about Idra whatsoever. Sorry, Idra. Anethel, Spirit of Breath. Nope, you're not. You're not. Anethel is Spirit of Journeys. Anethel is an angel that can turn into a bird. Wow. She got married to that one elf until they all died, right? Or he did. Is Anethel a guy? Sorry, Anethel, if you're a guy. I think Anethel might be a guy. That or they're lesbians. Both are pretty valid, though, honestly. Okay, anyways. Visha, Spirit of Song. We love Visha. Okay, I freaking love Visha. Visha is a mortal man. He's currently living under the alias of Victor Wolf, and he is in the upper echelon of criminal enterprise, like some other characters, and he's very sympathetic to exiles, and he doesn't really like hanging out with angels like most of the wind spirits have nothing to do with angels. Like the thing with the wind spirits is they all kind of like never wanted to hang out with each other. Like they're just like all over the place. So yeah, he's doing his own thing. In early life, he used to take the form of like a wolf, I think. He's kind of like a mix between a gray fox and a wolf, which I guess is kind of he's like a wolf that can climb trees, and he could make the sounds of every animal in existence, and he just was screaming and having a good time. I got Spirit of Flight, and all I have written here is something goose. So they're a goose, I think. That's cool. We got Alaris, Spirit of Sound. Alaris is interesting. She was killed in the Elven genocide because she hid within the sounds of she kind of exists as sounds of the trees, like sounds of the forest. So when the forest burned down, she died with it. So sorry, Alaris. We got Spirit of Celebration. Do I have anything written? They live on an orchard and they have a cottagecore life. That's cool. That's really cool for you. We love that. We got Dalra, Spirit of Motion. So they're kind of similar to Illyris, whereas Illyris was like a sound. Uh, Dalra is just kind of like motion. So like things just move, and she is the movement. The Wind Council's weird. They're a bunch of weirdos. And then we got Tenorar, the least weird of them. Tenorar is like an elf man, and he is Aaron's grandpa. He created the star. There's a lot of like uh the angels pretend that he was an angel, and like when they make statues of him they make him an angel, which kind of upsets his wife, who's like, he was not an angel, he didn't really care for the angels at all, he kind of got sick of you guys and left, and then he died because he was an elf, but okay, whatever. And that's Tenorar. We'll probably get a little more into the angels as we actually get into the angels. Onward. Let's get to the main cast, guys. We are out of the Pantheon. We have the setup done. Now we can talk about the story. It's like a really poorly written webcomic where we start with like a bunch of in-depth world building about the gods, and then we go to like what the actual story is about. This is, I say poorly written. This is the best version of Ava that exists, is this right now. Okay, so main cast, the gays. Juliet Wellen, number one gay. Lesbian. Did I really? What else? Human. She is. She is those two things. She doesn't know about the first one though. She's not aware of that. She's not. She will fight you, God, and anyone else. That is true. She's a fighty human lesbian. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So Juliet, one sec, let me get adjusted. So Juliet is the daughter of the wealthy Wellen family. She's so freaking wealthy. Her parents own the railway. Hi, Serena. I didn't know you were here. Hi. Do your parents own the railway? No, your parents don't even have a job. Her parents are playing Railroad Tycoon. Her dad is. Let's be real. She's their only daughter. They weren't able to have another heir, so they're very, very set on getting her married. She went to college for a little bit, which was just kind of a way for her parents to get her to meet more wealthy men. They didn't really expect her to get a degree. She dropped out anyways. And then she started managing some of her dad's real estate. So she got an apartment that she took care of. So she's hiding away from her parents, going on dates with all the men, and not enjoying herself with that. She just kind of likes her business. So she has her apartment that she gets all nice and ready for like clients and stuff, and then she finds the last elf in the world, and she's like, holy shit, that's so cool. I'm gonna rent my apartment out to this elf. And the elf subsequently decimates the whole apartment. It is filled with trees. It is unlivable, condemned, terrible building. So everything's going poorly, and then her parents kick her out. Juliet's living in the big city away from them. They're like, enough of this. You're going to settle down and get married. So they evict her from her apartment. They tell her that they are destroying the building that she's been renting out. Her life is ruined until a dragon appears. And that is where the story kind of begins, is a dragon appears in town with a proposal. A proposal of marriage. No, of the proposal that they save the world together. That's the story. So dragon, Faria, our second main character, Sage of Fire. So what are the sages? They're just coming up, right? So the sages are six people with the power to use magic. And magic is the power to ignore the rules of any set of Avo's books. So the fire spirits, they wrote their books. Water spirits wrote their books. Whatever. So Faria doesn't have to listen to the rules of fire. So she can just set fires and move stone and alter any aspects that they have written. Um, there are six of them because there is not a time sage because ignoring the power of time would be OP. So we don't do that. Sorry. So we don't do that. When the seven sages frick when the six sages get together, they can rewrite the laws of the universe. So in order to seal a tallow away, they have to like rewrite the laws of the universe. So the six sages have to gather as well as a scribe who represents the time sage but has no power. They have to sacrifice. That's a huge spoiler for people who haven't read, so sorry. But yeah, six sages get together, they can rewrite the laws of the universe, whatever. Super powerful lady. And she's Angie. She's a very Angie lady, but she's also really fun, but Angie. Let's continue. So what's Faria's deal? She's 700 years old. I'm rounding down. I think she's 726. Old lady. She stopped the God of Shadows returning once. So when he first woke up that one time to kill all the elves, Faria was around and she was the Sage of Fire who helped stop that. Very cool for her. She had a huge crush on Luna Deadwood. Luna Deadwood was the Earth Sage at the time. And Faria thought she was super heckin' poggers. She was like, damn. Then she got betrayed by Luna. Yeah, Luna was actually working with the Tallow. And Luna wrote a bunch of BS into the books to stop him, that he was actually going to return in 300 years and no one was going to know about it, except they found out. And when she found out that she was being betrayed by Luna, she didn't know. Okay, she found out about the betrayal way before she found out that Luna had like changed the books to suit Atallo. All she knew was that Luna ended up like helping Atallo kill all the elves. So Faria murdered her in return, and it made Faria very sad. So Faria, after killing her crush, just spends her life kind of messing around with humans, like having flings with them. She doesn't really care about their feelings all that much because they die way like it's been 300 years. Like any human she would love, like they're going to die, so she cuts herself off emotionally from them. So yeah, that's Faria's deal. But she does find out that Tallow is returning, and she brings Juliet with her to try and stop things. So let's move on to Aaron. Speaking of sages, Aaron's an exiled angel. So we've heard a little bit about we've heard a little bit about we've heard a little bit about angels. Angels, they live on the star. They are elves with wings, and they're very sparkly, shiny. Their light comes from their wings, and if they lose their wings, they don't replenish light. So he needs to get light from crystals, crystals that come from the star. The star is actually a big floating crystal, and it's been hollowed out so that people live inside of it. And like all the bits that came out from like hollowing it out, those are like the crystals that Eren wears on like his little fingies to keep him having light. Because if he runs out of light, he will become a monster and eat people. A fallen angel. So it's not fun being in exile. He has a lot of anxiety. Relatable. And he likes tea. He loves tea. Tea is his favorite thing. So, Eren. He was exiled as a little guy. So he does not really remember his exiling much. He has flashbacks to it. It happened when he was 6 years old, which is very young for an immortal. He was just a little baby boy. And they cut off his wings, and that was that. It was because his dad was a rabble rouser. His dad was executed. But Eren was not. Eren got to grow up on a farm. Eren got sent down to live with his uncle Leo on a farm where they raised deer together. Eren's deer. So he grew up on there, and then he was summoned eventually to 3 years before the story starts to meet at Vera Libra. So Viren, the god of time, is like, Eren, come meet my friend. And Eren's like, oh, okay, god of time, panic attack. I'll go. And he goes and he meets Tria, who we will talk about. And then Tria's like, you need to become a butler and spy on Master Whiteheart. And Eren's like, oh, okay. And he does that. Eren's also trans. And he gets caught. He gets caught by Master Whiteheart. Actually, Master Whiteheart knew the whole time he was being spied on. He just thought Eren was so silly. And he also has always wanted an angel to be his servant. So, good times. Okay, let's get into Tria. Actually, I need to go to the washroom. I'll be right back, guys. Hi. This washroom break should be left in the video. Okay, just for you. This is going well. All right. So Tria Deadwood, we've already mentioned her a little bit. She is the last elf in the world. Yeah, she is the only one that survived. Why is that? We don't know. I didn't answer it. She is a very dazed person. She can't really follow a train of thought. So relatable. And she's also, there we go. She's the daughter of the Shadow God. Yes, Atalo is her dad. Luna is her mom. That's why she was not killed. So she grew up in the Mirage. She grew up in Atalo's Forbidden Realm place. It's been a while since we mentioned that. And because of that, because she's kind of the Mirage, because she's kind of like trapped in his world. She's partly him and he's trapped or whatever. Yeah, she's very dazed outside of it, and outside the dream world where Atalo still is able to be about. When she was young, like a little preteen, I think, Feria took her. She flew into the... Well, actually, she murdered her mom and then flew into the Mirage and took her and brought her back to Vera Libra. She grew up in Vera Libra with Viren, and eventually one day, Viren was like, Aaron, come meet her. There's something important you gotta do. And so they met. Aaron got her set up in an apartment. You gotta think that it must have been Aaron, right? Like, she was like, we're moving to the city, and she had no plan. And Aaron was like, okay, you need to get an apartment, and probably like set her up with one. Like that's my headcanon. As an author, I'm allowed to have headcanons. They don't have to be canon, okay? But yeah, she moved into Juliet's apartment, and she wants to stop her dad from returning. In theory, right? She got the information, and she's the one that gathers the sages together to stop him. But we have our doubts. Some of us. Next, we have Princess Alexandria III. Astute viewers, readers of Avo, know about that picture, and I don't know why I chose it. Because that is, Anyways, Princess Alex, edgy, Sage of Shadow, in jail for treason. Need I say more? She's very edgy. She used to be way, way more edgy when I first wrote her. She's so edgy. Oh, we don't have for some reason I forgot to do the bullet points, so we're just gonna have to deal with them all being on screen. So her parents died. I wonder how. Well, she did not kill her father, okay? Her father died when she was a toddler, but her mother died somewhat recently, and sort of within the same time frame as her brother's attempted murder from her, where she was caught and unable to kill him. I picked the worst pictures for Alex. I have way better pictures. I don't know why I did this. I'm sorry, girl. Yeah, so she attempted to murder her brother, got caught, and now she is awaiting execution for treason because her brother is the king, and you can't kill the king. Unless. No. Anyways, King Asler, another great picture I chose. I chose this one on purpose. Baby. Has a pet fox. Sage of Light. Yeah, so Asler is kind of a dork. He's sad about his parents dying. Unlike his sister, who is not sad about their parents dying at all. He became the Light Sage when he was a toddler. I think it should be noted. Okay, it needs to be remarked that being king in the books of Avo isn't like being like the ruler of the kingdom. Like at least within the kingdom of light and shadow, it's not that kind of role. It's more the ambassador. It's more of an ambassador role between humanity and the immortals, because immortals are dumb and immortals be like, they're all humans are the same. I'm not dealing with multiple governments. There's just one of you guys, and I'm only going to talk to the sages. So the light sage and the dark sage are like the light sage and the shadow sage are like the people that the immortals will speak to about immortal matters. So it's not as big of a position. Like in the past, being like king and queen like meant something, and it does still now. Like it's not an elected position or whatever, but like, yeah, he doesn't really rule the kingdom. Yeah, and he became the ambassador between immortals and such when he was a toddler, so that's scary. Because his dad died. He sucks at his power. Despite being sage for so long, he's been terrified to use his power because his mother was the shadow sage before him, and he was always meant to match her power because like the dark and light are supposed to kind of like balance each other out, and he was always intimidated, and he's still intimidated now that his sociopathic sister is also uh, in power. So that's assy. Oh yeah, he's scared of his sister and scared of his responsibilities. I didn't expect there to be so many points. Let's move on to Selene. So Selene is a badass. We like Selene. Selene kicks butt. She's big Anki. Maybe a little too Anki. She's got the dragon Ankies sometimes. And she is engaged to Asler. She is going to marry that boy. She grew up in Tia. Tia is the city at the foot of the dragon's dens. So she has had to deal with the dragons all of her life, and the dragons have like enslaved her people because the dragons suck. And so yeah, like her brother lives in the mountain. Basically, the dragons have taken all of the males from her village and put them to work within their hordes. And like they keep them there because they don't have elves anymore, and they're like, well, if we ever want to have eggs, we'll need males, so give us all of your males. And because they're dragons, like there's only so much negotiation that can be done for the humans. And there was like in the past, like humans and dragons came to like understandings, and humans stopped slaying all of the dragons and learning to kill them. But the dragons have just gone back on all of the treaties because dragons suck, except Faria. Okay, Faria honestly kind of sucks. She has a lot of growing to do. Yeah, it's rightfully so. Selene hates dragons. She escaped from the mountain and got engaged. I don't know if she necessarily escaped. I think her mom really pressured her and really tried to get her into a relationship with the king so that she would have no reason to go back. And when you think about it, like Selene is the daughter of like the dragon ambassador, so she's like an ambassador between like Tia and the she's a Tia being the town. She's an ambassador between the town and the dragons. So like she's got like pretty important role among immortals, and Astler also has a pretty important role among immortals. Like I was saying that the Shadow Sage and Light Sage are very important to immortals in general, but I think right now it's a lot more like with the angels especially, because the angels keep their prisons beneath the castle, so they're that is definitely something that Astler has to deal with, is the angel government. So a union between the ambassador's daughter and him is pretty cool. But anyways, Saleya just wants her to marry the king because she doesn't want her daughter to grow up to become the dragon ambassador, because it sucks. It sucks. Talking to the dragon sucks, and their town is falling apart, and it sucks. Um, and yeah, so Selene loves Astler, and she was the one who uncovered Alex's plot to kill him because Selene's pretty smart, and Astler's a bit of a naive boy. And yeah, so she stopped the plot, the murder plot. I keep calling them like boy and kid and stuff. They're like 18. I can't believe they're teenagers. Can you believe that Selene and Astler are like teens? Selene does not act like a teenager. She grew up fast. Oh my god, it's Lul. he's he's shirtless. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm dying. I'm dying. Okay. All right. No, it's on YouTube. He's shirtless. He's just shirtless. He's wearing little shorts, okay? So this is Lul. We talked about we mentioned Lul before, right? He's the spirit of sin. But he's pretending to be a mortal man. So what did I say about Lul? He's my son. Yes. Male presenting nipple. He's my son. I adore him. He's the reason I wake up in the morning. Yeah, those are all true. Um, we have some Luls. I just love him so much. Okay. So he's Italo's right hand spirit. He's the first spirit that Italo ever created. Um, my God. Unfortunately, I can't talk about all my favorite parts about Lul because it's all spoilers. So we're just getting the basics about Lul here. Yeah, because he's Italo's right hand spirit. He's in love with the spirit of death, Lenora. Um, he's been sad because she died. So basically, what happened was when woke for the first Italo's woke. When Italo woke for the first time, he was stopped, but Luna was able to get him an out, and that's why the book happens. But when he was stopped, he got really mad because he was betrayed by Luna. No, Lenora. He was betrayed by Lenora, guys. She betrayed him, so he killed her, and he scarred all of his other spirits in anger, and that's why Lul has the scar on his face, because Lenora betrayed him. Am I doing a good job? Um, and so Lul, who is dating Lenora, is very sad that she died. He's basically been dating her since she was created. I think he followed her around for like 1,000 years or so before. Okay, that sounds weird, but like he pined for her for like 1,000 years or so before they got together. But then they've been together for at least like 12,000 years, or I guess 10,000 years, probably like 10,000 years together. So he's been very sad about her death for The past 300 years, he's been just drinking away his sadness. So he presents himself as a human, pretends to be a human. He goes by Master Whiteheart. He gets into the he gets into like the illegal booze market and selling his spirits and stuff. And he loves to drink. Okay, maybe he doesn't love to drink. He's an alcoholic. And that's how he gets through his pain of losing the one he loves. But he hasn't lost the one that loves him. He never will, because that's me. Yeah, he gets drunk and causes trouble. He's Aaron's master. He's the one that Aaron is working for. Aaron was supposed to be spying on him, but Aaron didn't even realize that he was a spirit. Like, Aaron did a horrible job. Yeah, so that's Lul. We have to move on. That's all our main characters. So let's talk about humans. Okay, here's some random humans, mortal little dudes. So we got Don Danes. Don Danes is human. Yeah, he was set up on a date with Juliet, by Juliet's mother, and he very quickly realized that she's a lesbian, way before she did. He is an ally, and we love Don. He works for a cat. A cat is his boss. I think that's neat. His mom's a gambler. I know that too. And his name is not Don, but that's all spoilers. Edith Welland. We've mentioned Edith a little bit. I only have her here because I have her picture. She's Juliet's mom. She's awful. She's an awful lady. She's very controlling. Eat the rich, you know? She's the rich. That's it. I just had a picture of her, and I wanted to be like, oh, look, Edith. Okay, other humans. Okay, we're going to go down the list. Let's see if any of these are important. Bernard Welland, Juliet's dad. He is... he has way too much money. Celea. She is Selene's mom. She's the ambassador between humans and dragons. She's very cool. I like her. Yeah, 10 out of 10. We like Celea. Nora. Nora is a... Who is Nora? Nora is a girl that lives in Tia. Bernard should be hot. Yeah, maybe. Bernard's kind of a nerd. Bernard's kind of a huge freaking nerd. Bernard is autistic, right? Bernard has to be. He loves trains, and he reads really boring books about like the history of like geography. He reads geographic history books. Bernard. Anyways, Nora is a girl, lives in Tia. That's it. She lives with her sister Jana. That's it. There's not much to them. We got Durin. Durin is Celea's son. He lives in the mountain. He's Selene's brother. Selene hasn't really met him often. He's very shy, traumatized child. We got Maud Morningstar of the Morning Star. I fucking love Maud. Okay, shit. Swearing for Maud, but like I love Maud. Maud is amazing. She's a newsie. No, not a newsie. She's a news reporter, and I love her. We got Lottie. She makes dresses. We got Miriam. Miriam is a teenager that was living in the capital of Shadow and Light. In book 1, doesn't really show up until book 2. We got Vera, Miriam's friend. We got Lenora. Lenora is not her name. She's a goth child who goes by the name Lenora. We got Clyde, and we got Stanley. You know, my favorite Avo character, Stanley. All right, let's go to Angels, mostly exiles or Aaron's family. So Angels, what do we got? We got Mirelle, Aaron's grandma. She's super cute. We love Mirelle. She's under house arrest for reasons not specified in the book as of yet, so we'll just say for reasons. She secretly gave up her powers as the Wind Sage. She completed the reunion that Luna and Feria initially went to. They went to it together, and then afterwards, Morel was put under house arrest for reasons, and she secretly gave up her powers to Eren so that he could have them. And she married a spirit. She was married to the spirit of the star, Tenorar, as I mentioned before. But he died, so sorry, she's now a widow. And she loves her grandson, and she writes him letters. She writes him all the letters. She loves him. They're 10 out of 10. We got Leo Truewind. Leo is her brother. He is much older than her, and he is older than he's older than a few spirits, and he is older than the books of Avo. So he was Leo is my guy. I love your art, friends. Thank you. It's mostly my wife's. I think it's all been my wife's. I did coloring on some of it. But yeah, he's old. I think he's like 8,000 years old or something like that. So, anyways, he's Eren's great uncle and Mirel's brother. He's older than some spirits, as I have mentioned. He raised Eren after his exile. So after Eren was exiled, he was brought to Leo, and Leo raised him up on the farm. He also raised Sindrith. Who is Sindrith? We'll get it to Sindrith, but that's Eren's cousin. He raised him as well after he was kind of exiled. And Leo doesn't have wings, but he isn't an exile technically. In everything, he's basically an exile, but he's not really an exile because he gave up his wings because he didn't like the angels. He gave them up in protest. He went to the gods and had them turn his wings to dust because the books of Avo weren't complete at the time, so you could kind of do whatever. So he just went to a god and was like, I don't want to be an angel, I give up my light. And they're like, okay, you can give up your light, but like that won't make you an elf. And he was like, it's fine, I want none of it. And so he gave up his wings. Because the angels are elves that ascended when given the light of the star. Like they chose it, and he is like the descendant of like the first angels, so the elves that chose to have the light. And he was like, this is gay and weird, so screw that. I'm sorry, I use gay all the time. It's because I'm gay. Oh, Ursula's coughing. Hope she's okay. But yeah, he gave up his wings because he didn't want to be with the angels. He was like, ew, gross. No, thank you. And honestly, seeing the way the angels are, I get it. Sindrith, Eren's cousin, half human, half angel. His mother was a human. His father was an angel, and he was born, and we love him. He had his wings removed when he was a baby so that he could be in hiding. So he was given to Leo for his safety. And he's lived his entire life on the farm where no one can find him because being a half angel is not allowed. The angels are very protective of their bloodlines. Gross. Oh, and Sindrith is a very loud character, despite being hidden. He just talks and talks and talks. He's never had social interaction, so he just like talks to all of the deer and stuff. I can't believe I accidentally pulled an all-nighter because a cat pinned me down and I wanted to hear lore I already know. Well, thank you for staying. But yeah, so that's Sindrith. Next, we have the other angels. So we got Miethriel Truewind, who is the other sibling of Leo and Morel. She lives on the star. She is the great grandmother of Sindrith, but she is unaware that he is alive, which is good because she is a blood purist. Tiam. We're not going to talk about Tiam. Soriel, that is Aaron's mother. She still exists. I didn't write his dad down. His dad's dead, but he still exists. Arith. We mentioned Aaron's dad. Arch-Councilman Ire. So he is basically the leader of the... What is that read? He is the leader of the Angels. Awful person. Yeah, fascist. And then we have Miss Birdie. I love Miss Birdie. Miss Birdie is a drag queen exile living in the capital of Light and Shadow. She is dating Victor Wolf. On to spirits. I guess back around to spirits. So these are some of the spirits that we missed while I was running through them. So here's some ones with pictures. We got Lenora, Spirit of Death. So she looks cool. She dated Lul. And she died for betraying Italo. She died for betraying Italo, guys. That's all there is to her, honestly. I kind of hate Lenora, I'll be real. She's the worst. She just looks cool. She's... Ugh, I hate her. I can't even get into it. We got Carvel, Spirit of Mind. I kind of like Carvel. She is a resident of Mira Atala, so she lived in the Mirage, and she lives in the Atalo Spire, and she's like a mom. She mommed Tria. When Tria was a little girl, she grew up without her dad because her dad was trapped away, and she could only see him in her dreams, and her mom was murdered or in hiding. But Carvel was her mom, and she mommed all over her. And she can read minds. Yeah. That's cool. We got Vasette, Spirit of Dreams. I love Vasette. He's missing half of his face because, you know, he got his half of his face bashed in because of Atalo's anger, because he struck all of his spirits, and Vasette is one of his spirits, and Vasette is the Spirit of Dreams, and his face like cracked kind of like a pot, so he wears a mask to cover it because he's very embarrassed, and all sorts of like things just come out of his face, like snakes and cats and stuff. It's just kind of like surrealness just coming out of it unless he puts his mask on. He lives in the Mirage with Carvel and Grim, and he can enter the real world, but he only does so as a coyote. And he can enter people's dreams as anything he likes. And he's really confused by causality. He doesn't like being in the real world. He prefers the Mirage and dreams. He just, in the real world, he is a coyote and he just whines. We got Aurora, Spirit of Lust. We already saw her feet. They were on Lul's neck in that one picture. She's a baby, and Lul's friend. That's kind of it. She's a sweetums. She's part of the baddie team, but she has her doubts, and she just wants all of her friends to be happy. And she lost her eye because of, Atalo's anger. Everyone loves Aurora. Aurora's great. Then we got Spirit of Life. So, as I mentioned, this is the only light spirit that escaped the prison that Lul put them in. She is a dragon hunter. Her dress is made up of dragon scale that's like crushed up. She hates life. Yeah, she hates what she created. And she betrayed her god and sucked up to Atalo, kissed his little Atalo feet, and was like, I'll fight for you. Like, I don't want to be trapped. And that's how she got into it. And that's why she is not trapped, because she is on Atalo's side. This is Ekoto. He's a little guy. I want to pinch his little cheeks. He owns a speakeasy. It used to be a pub called the Hawk's Paw Pub, but now he owns a speakeasy called the Cat's Fancy. He serves booze to other immortals and humans. He's way more chill with mortals than a lot of other spirits because he created all of the beasts, and beasts live even shorter than like humans. So he's got a soft spot for it. He collects a lot of artifacts. He's a bit of a hoarder. He he just sees things that are like special from old times, and he keeps them in his building. And he's nice to talk with because he is a bartender. Well, I guess he doesn't really tend the bar much. He kind of just sleeps on the bar and has other people do it. But he has the bartender talky part down. Next we have Nikki, Spirit of Confusion. I don't know why we're going back to the Dark Council, but here she is. She was the one that burned down the goddess's forest. She is super gung-ho to be friends with Italo and stuff. And despite her being on Italo's council, she wasn't scarred because she is a shapeshifter. There was no scar that he could leave upon her, so she doesn't have one. She was the Black Dragon. She is the only Black Dragon. Anything she turns into, she usually picks kind of like a black color palette because she's edgy, and we love her. She's crazy. I love Nikki. Everyone's right to love Nikki. She's a villain, but she slays. In like, I guess a lot of villains slay. Like Italo slayed. Anyways, moving on. We got Amelia. Look at this picture of Amelia I found. She's fluffy. She lives in the Goddess's Grove, so she's Spirit of Spring. She's younger than Leo. I know that. She's one of the youngest spirits. She's very optimistic, and while her god is like, oh, the world is over, the elves are dead, she's like, I don't think so. I think there's lots of good things in the world. And, good for you, Amelia. Good for you. She is the youngest earth spirit, as I just mentioned. Anyways, I think this is our last one. Our last, but certainly least, Allura, Spirit of Virtue. She is the opposite of Lul. Like I said, all the light spirits are like, they have their shadows because the light spirits came first. So Allura came first. Ursula drew her hair the wrong color. It's supposed to be black. But she's an elf, and I can't talk about her, but I absolutely adore her. Yeah, exactly. Can't talk about her much. I love her. She's just trying her best. She's just falling apart. She's not staying together. She reminds me of Aaron, honestly. I guess they serve similar roles or whatever. Nah, Aaron's way less together. Anyways, that is Avo. No, it's not. Frick. She's not the last. There's still more Avo. We have Luna Deadwood. Misk is just elves. Okay, it's just going to be elves, guys. So she is the 8th daughter of the moon spirit. That's why there's a moon there, because I couldn't find a picture of Luna. I'm surprised Ursula's never drawn Luna. She's an elf. So she's the 8th daughter of Serena. She betrayed the elves for Italo, as I mentioned. She fooled the sages so that Italo could return. And she had a daughter with Italo, who is Tria, who we already met. And she was killed by Feria and Rain. We didn't mention Rain. Rain is dead. Rain is the water sage. She died in her fight with Luna. Oh, wait, it's not all elves. We got Fidget, who is a fox. It's not actually a fennec fox. This is a picture of a fennec fox. I don't have any pictures of Fidget either. Like, how dare Ursula have not drawn Fidget? But they're like a toy, like in Avo, like the foxes are like our equivalent of cats, because they don't really have cats. They have Ekoto, but he's like a guy and not a cat. They've got like miniature foxes that use like litter boxes and stuff. So they have, and they're like domestic. They're not like our foxes, obviously. So she's like a little pink kind of leucistic fox. I'm getting way too into this. They're called a Carolyn fox, so that's what she is. And she was a present from Selene to Astler. And then she went missing. Where did she go? And then we have Rennie. Rennie has no brain. I bet this dog that I'm using here also has no brain. Okay. Bark. Sindrith in dog form. Yeah, loud bark, no brain. But also, on a symbolic level, Rennie is a lot like Sindrith, because Rennie is a mix between a herding dog and a fancy angel breed of dog, a Tenerar hound. So some angel brought their dog to town, and their dog went to town on like a mutt, and then they had puppies, and yeah, Rennie's mom was drowned for it, but Leo saved one of the puppies because he found them all dead, except Rennie, and they raised up Rennie, and we love Rennie. It's a metaphor. Other characters. Okay, this is probably the last slide. So, Drac, we can't talk about him. He's an elf. Chroma, also an elf. They're both dead. I can assure you of that. They're both dead because they're elves. But they were in the past. There's some past characters. Cress, also an elf. Ailey, not an elf. She is a Mirren. She is a Mirren girl who lives in one of the villages, because Mirren representation. I only have one Mirren character. Rain, we know who Rain was. She was an elf. She was the Sage of Water. Oh god. Don't jump scare me with Sovereign. Oh my god. Okay, well, we're not doing Sovereign because this is just the stream me saying this, but we're not doing Sovereign. But tomorrow, not tomorrow, whenever I finish this, we can do Sovereign. See? Look, it's just going to be frogs. It's like the placeholder frog. Whoa. We got pretty mouth. Okay, anyways, that's all like spoilers. So I did it, okay? I did it. I did the first section of this incredibly long video. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my frog. How do I end the broadcast?